with item total correlations. That's one method. Other one is called difficult index, discriminant index calculation. Other one is called split the two groups, like a low group, high group, and we can compare with the t-test. Therefore, a lot of methods for doing the item analysis. This is a method is called Cronbach alpha. So because I don't have time to explain it. Okay, you can discuss with your guide. Then they can explain what is exactly is in Cronbach alpha. You can discuss with your guide.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, doubt, like in the pilot study, we have taken 4 participants, right? Sorry, 40 participants we have taken.
Yeah, here she's taking 240 samples. 240 samples.
Sir, from 240, she reduced to 40, then 31.
No. See, collecting the 240 samples data.
Yes.
For the 40 items. You got to 40 items,
Okay,
40
questions.
Yeah.
40 questions.
So the 40 questions.
So from 40
where,
questions,
see,
from the 40 questions, why, sir? Like
yeah,
after.
Exactly, that is, yeah. This is
and sir, one more question is, like in the like further study, like after the pilot study, in the final study, only those 41 questions again will be asked to the 240 students.
No, more than that. You can, for example, 240. What is the final sample? I think 250 something for that. I check here. Okay, I check the 240. I check the sample.
So the same questions will be asked or different questions?
No, the same question. The 31 items. The 31 items. The 31 items. The finally, what you are keeping is the 31 items. So for yes. Okay, for her, so using both 240 only. I think the pre-test, the pilot study also using 240. The end also 240. Normally it won't be same, right? But for her case, she's not able to get that, so she's keeping 240. It's the COVID she kept like this. But generally it's not like this. You can go with 100 sample or a 40 sample or 50 sample. In the case of pilot study, you got clear. The pilot study you can go with limit, but minimum to 100 should be safe. But generally in the statistical procedure, what they're telling, no, if you go with more number of samples, then only the results may come properly, increasing the sample. So therefore, some of the statisticians tell that you can go with at least 370 sample, even for pilot study. 370 sample is good in the case of this standardization procedure. Suppose the sampling group is very low. For example, you are keeping a mental retarded. You don't give that much of sample for item analysis. You can go with only 10 samples enough. Based on the sample representation also, you have to look on it. You got clear? Based on the sample also, you have to fix your pilot study. Pragna, I hope you understood, no? In the first, the preliminary tool having the 40 items, then she did the item analysis. The item analysis means, generally what is called item analysis, we have to remove the difficulty, very hard question, very easy question, and some of the questions not measuring properly your variable. No, that item we have to remove through the statistical procedure. This is called as here item analysis. Here, based on statistical analysis, we have to remove the 9 items. Therefore, final items how much? The final items how much?
31.
Final items, 31 items. Then after this, we move the reliability analysis. One of the reliability analysis was split up method. So we have to divide the items into 2 equal groups, and we have to do some kind of correlation analysis. That correlation value is more than 0.6 is compulsory. If more than 0.6 only, your tool is reliable. If less than the 0.6 or less than the 0.5, we can modify the tool. You cannot go with the tool and the further research purpose, right? It's that the tool having some issues. What is called reliability? What is called reliability? Reliability means what? It is consistency. The reliability is equal to consistency, checking the consistency of your research tool, right? So here they're using the reliability analysis as a split up method as well the Cronbach alpha. The both formula they're using. Then finally they move to the validity. What is called validity? What is called validity of the tool? Validity. What is called validity?
Measuring what it has to measure.
What it has to measure. For example, this question is measuring the online internship program, right? Problems online internship. Suppose one of the items is measuring the offline internship program. Can I use this item or not? So that's the 40 items. one of the item, it is not measuring the online, it is measuring the problems of the offline. No. Can I keep it the items or not?
No, sir.
No, sir. Not necessarily. That is called validity. So in the validity, lot of types are there, like content validity. You hear the term content validity, phase validity, concurrent validity, construct validity, yes, sir. Predictive validity. Did you hear the term?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yes, sir. What is called content validity? What is called content validity? What is called content validity?
Whether the content of that question or an item is like valid for that research, for that particular research.
Yeah, how we can ensure, how we can, for whom we can ensure that the particular nitrate measuring that particular area, who can measure? Subject expert. Okay, so here the researcher can give the item which, for example, the Sana is a researcher, so Sana is doing one research area, so she prepare 40 items. Then how we can ensure, Sana, that the items are correct or not? How we can ensure the item which you prepare? No, you can
give it to a subject expert.
So he can subject expert with your guide and all. Yeah, yes. So that is called validity. Here, the subject expert can check whether each item having the content, that particular content is measuring the what you are intent to measure. So that is called content validity. You can see, I use the term the experienced teacher guide went through the objectives of the study and each part of the questionnaire and expect the opinion of the rating skill measures what I intend to very high degrees of satisfaction. Thus, the validity of the tool was established. Hence, it has been. What is the validity? What is the validity here? Content validity. I hope you understood. The content validity means subject expert validations. Then after this, what is the final draft? What is my final draft? How many items? 31 items. What is my, I'm giving the 3-point scale, but the item scale is 0, 1, 2. I hope you understood. Why the maximum score is 62? Anyone can give why the maximum score is 62. I have
31 into
31 into 2, right?
2.
Yeah. So why the minimum is 0?
Because in this scale, the minimum score is 0.
Yeah. So for example, one of the persons given all the 31 items 0, 0, 0. Therefore, what is the score? What is the score? The particular guy 0. Therefore, the bond of your score, the rating scale 0 to 62. That is called minimum score, maximum score. So this is called item analysis. So this is called standardization procedure. I hope you understood. This everything is called tools. Suppose I'm having only one tool. Suppose you have the 2 tools. Therefore, what do you have to do? You have to do the same process twice. You got clear? Suppose you have the tool attitude towards internship as well as the problems of the internship. So how many variables are there? Attitude and problems. Therefore, you have the 2 variable. Attitude is 1 variable. Problems is 2 variable. So other variable. Therefore, you have to do the same process for the 2 times. You got clear? You have to do the pilot study. You have to do the item analysis. You have to do the reliability validity for each tool separate. You got clear? Right. Then last one. So last data gathering. What is the data gathering?
Yes, sir. One question. Sir, here she has performed, I think, survey method, right?
Yeah, survey method, exactly.
Suppose we will conduct one experimental research, then there also we need to standardize the test.
Exactly. So how many variables you have to standardize the procedure. For example, there is a title which I told you, effectiveness of PowerPoint presentation on statistics teaching. How many variables are there? How many variables are there? How many variables? Once again, I read the title, effectiveness of PowerPoint presentation on enhancement of research methodology course. How many variables are there?
2 variables.
What is my variable? Independent variable, dependent variable. So which is my independent variable? Is my independent variable? PowerPoint presentation. What is my dependent variable?
The latter one, sir.
Enhancement.
Achievement test of the researcher, right? Achievement test. Right. Very good. Now the question for you. And the 2 variable which variable having the item analysis is needed. We need a standardization. We need a standardization procedure is needed for both the variable. Even if you are preparing the PPT, whether the PPT is to be content oriented, how you can ensure the content oriented or not. You are preparing the PPT as a researcher. How you can justify that particular slide is describing this one only. How you can ensure? Pragna, tell me.
The content validity.
Yeah, you have to go to the content validity. You have to get the subject expert. Right here, the reliability is not needed. Item analysis is not needed for the case of PowerPoint. You got clear? For the PowerPoint as a tool, you don't need for the item analysis because it's not item. It is a tool that is your presentation PPT that you have to go with only the validity analysis. That is the standardization procedure for you. What is my second variable? Achievement test. For the achievement test, you can do all the process. You can do the pilot study, you can do the item analysis, you can do the reliability, you can do the validity. You got clear? Because in your case, one variable is an independent variable. That variable, we could not have any items. It is only the content. It is only the package. It is only the slides. It's like a qualitative one. Okay, we are not mentioning the quantity piece, right? For the particular variable. Therefore, you can go with only the validity procedure. I hope you understood all of you.
Yes, sir. And here the sample number will be same.
Sorry?
The sample number will be same, na? Like the number of participants, because as you have taken the experimental group and...
Listen. That's a good question, Pragna. Suppose, in the case of achievement test, I like to standardize in the experimental method. I'm keeping this an 100 sample, right? For the pilot study. But you could not be use the same 100 sample for the final study. You got clear? You could not use the same sample for the final study. That you should be ensured because otherwise there is a repetition because they already explored the test, no? So therefore that impact it may come to the final report. So it not be your experimental treatment because of the test influence might be there. It is not exactly the way of
So suppose the research is like effectiveness of life skill, life skills education on secondary school student of a particular school, suppose. So there the participants will remain constant, right?
No. What you have to do, you can take the same secondary school students of the different school as a pilot study. You got clear? You can take it as any secondary school student as a sample. As a pilot study group. You can do the pilot study with that specific group, and when you're going for the final research, you can use that particular school as a sample. You got clear, Pragna?
Yes, sir. But
secondary school. Yeah.
Sir, the thing is like suppose suppose I will do two tests like pre-test and post-test. So for that reason, the number of participants must be same, right?
No. Actually, if you are using the pre-test, post-test, different test or same test you are using? Pre-test, post-test.
Different tests. No, like there will be two possibilities. Same test, then the condition will be different test.
Yeah. Therefore, if you are using the two different tests, pre-test and post-test, tools differ. What you have to do, you can go with the pilot study with 50 members, right? You can give the two tools for the 50 members and do the pilot study for the pre-test separately, post-test separately. And finally, after doing the item analysis, when you go for the final experimentation, that time don't use that pilot study sample. Got clear? Don't use the same pilot study sample. You can change the group. You don't change the sample, you can change the group only. For example, the particular school having, suppose you like to go with the same school, you can go with this. Suppose there is a section, there is a 5 sections are there. You can keep it one separate section for the separate for the pilot study. Then you can keep the other 2 sections for the control group, experimental group for the final the process. Is it okay, Pragna? Are you understood?
Yes, sir. Sir, it is the thing like you said. If the questions will be same, right? If the test will be same, and if I'll take different test, like the pre-test question will be different from the post-test question, then there will not be like all these things will not be needed, right?
No. For every this called standardization procedure. Pragna. for the standardization procedure, you can go with item analysis. For doing the item analysis, for what is the necessity for item analysis? Whether this particular item is valid the specific things. And parallelly, whether the item is very difficult or very simple. We have to remove the very easy item, we have to remove the very hard item. We have to keep only the average item, right? So that process is called item analysis. For keeping this item analysis, for doing the item analysis, we should keep the different sample group. Why in the sense, suppose if you are using the pre-test, post-test, two different tests. I'm talking about two different tests. You are using the pre-test separately, post-test also. You are not using the same tool. You are using two different tests of the pre-test, post-test. Therefore, you have the two variable now. Pre-test one variable and post-test another variable. Therefore, you have to do a standardization procedure for the two tools differently. What you have to do, you can use the same group, same sample group for the item analysis for the pilot study. For example, the 50 students you are using for the pre-test, the same 50 students you can for the post-test also. You can give the two tests at the same time, I can collect that and you can do the item analysis. But when you're going for the final study, don't use that 50 sample for your experimentation. Is it, Pragana, are you understand now?
Yes, sir. Means for both the test, like whether it is different or same doesn't matter, but we have to do the standardization.
Yeah, of course, you have to do the standardization. If you are using the same tool, for example, the MAT level, my suggestion don't with the two tests. The MAT level. For the PhD, you can go with the parallel form test. For the MAT level, don't go with the pre-test and post-test. Right? So
Yes, sir.
pre-test post-test is needed, but don't go with the two tests. You can use the same test for the both pre-test and post-test level. You got clear? You can prepare only one test and you can keep the pre-test that time and post-test also, you can the same. Otherwise, because you have the only limited time only for the MAT level. So don't make it much complicated in your research work. You can do the research very simply in the MAT level. Don't make it your process very high difficulty. You got clear, Pragna?
Yes, sir.
My suggestion is to go with only one test, but you can use the pre-test and post-test. Yes. Then I'm coming to the last one, data gathering and statistical treatment. So the data gathering is nothing but how we are collecting the data. So we are collecting this data from this for the final procedure. Please. So this administration the tool for the whom for the for the pilot study or the final study. For the pilot study or final study. Anyone can tell the administration of the test. So here they're using the term administration of the test, no? In the administration of the test, whether we have
final study.
About
Final study.
Final study. It is a final study. Please kindly note. So this is a final study. So here we can talk about 220 final study. You got clear? So now you can easy to understand from here. Actually, for the item analysis, how many pilot study? How many samples they took? How many samples they took?
240.
No. Here. Pilot study.
500.
500 sample they took. Okay. Because when you increase the number of sample only, you are getting the exact output. Due to the reason, they is taking the 500 sample. Now you can see the final study. So in the final studies, what she took? Final study?
220.
220 only she selected. Okay. Because the standard procedure she is taking. But in the case of the final stage, you cannot get the most sample data, those you can limit with 220 only. Right, it's up to you can discuss with the guide and you can fix the time. Actually, normally there is a thumb rule, there is a separate website. Suppose you like to select your sample, you can go to the website that was sample size calculator. Just you can type in sample size calculator. You could not blindly take the sample, it's not correct. You can just go to the Google and just type the Google size calculator. Lot of online tools are there. So when you like to discuss with your guide or if you like to select the sample size from your end, you can go to the tool names for sample size calculator survey monkey. Once you go here, but you must know the population. For example, my population is PG students, postgraduate students of Kerala. So here I found that from because there is a issue, some of the websites are that. From this, we can easily know the exact population of the PG students in the Kerala. Suppose there is a 2 lakh students. There is a 2 lakh students in Kerala. So I put the 2 lakhs, sorry, 20,000, 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs PG students my population. You have to find the population. Where you have to find? Where you have to find the population? From the some of the website, authentic website, government website, right? Like Aishu website or Kerala government website. From this, you came to know that 2 lakhs of the PG students of the current batch. And I fixed the 95% of level of confidence and 5% of level of error. So after fixing this, so I like to go with 95%. Yeah. Here I'm fixing the 5% of level error. So therefore, what is my sample size? What is my sample size? I have to select 384 sample. Minimum I'm taking the 384 sample. You got clear? So this is where we have to select this sample. What is the fix this sample? Suppose I like to go with 99% of confidence. So my sample should be 664. You have to select the sample 664. Suppose I like to reduce the sampling error 4%. And if you like to reduce the error, you can go with 1035 sample. But my suggestion better to go with 95. 95 here 5% of error. Okay. So it seems that 384. So 2 lakh students, how many sample you have to select for your research work? If you have the 2 lakhs of students, you have to go with 384 sample. Minimum I'm talking. If you are going to maximum, it will be fine. But minimum you have to take 384. Then only you may get the proper results. Then only you can generalize your results.
It's around 15%, right?
Sorry?
10 to 15% it is around.
Where? Here the error you can keep only 5. Error you can give. That is called how much your error you are predicting. Suppose you like to reduce the error, you can go with 1%. Suppose I like to go with only 1% error only I'm allowing. Therefore, you have to go with 9,164 sample you needed. Right? So it's not updating. So you have to, if you reduce the error up to 1, you have to go with 9,164 sample. So now I left, I think there is a network issue, so not an issue. Okay, from this I can stop. Today we are discussing about only the third chapter. So I'm very slowly. So you feel very boring because still now I not completed a single topic. So today we are discussing about chapter 3. The chapter 3 consists of the main area, the research design, population sampling procedure, and the main things tool and instruments, and pilot study item and under this, and finally data gathering. And last one is a statistical statement. So which are statistical statement you are going to do, whether you're going to t-test, f-test, that we have to describe it. So this is covered in the third chapter. So the next class we can discuss about the chapter 4 and chapter 5, then appendix part. So any other questions? Do you have any other questions?
Sir?
Yes, Sana, please.
Sir, is there any discussion going on in the department regarding the date of that research proposal presentation?
Yeah, no, still now we don't discussing because very soon it might comes the university, I think so. That is a discussion going on. So once it comes, we can go with the direct, that's why we are not discussing these things. Okay.
Okay.
Today there will be a meeting related to the reopen, so they may inform. Okay. So due to the Kerala, so what about yesterday? How much the people are affected here COVID? Yesterday rating?
I'm not sure, sir.
Sir, it is 7,000 something.
Still 7,000. Okay. So based on the rate only today they're going to decide it, whether they can start with the third year students or batch wise. So everything they decide today, or within 2 days you may know that when they can reopen or whether they're opening or not. Right? So after
Okay.
we can.
Sir, chance like up to December the college will be reopened.
I'm also so happy to open it, but the COVID, it's not in our hand, no, Pragna. Right?
I know, sir. According to that, like there are some exams that we are going to give. So for that reason, center where to put the center.
Yeah,
that's
I got it. That's it.
Okay. Like now, CTT registration is going on. So for that reason, I was.
Sir, can I leave the class? Excuse me, sir.
Sorry?
Sir, can I leave the class?
Yeah, you can go. You can leave, Sana, please.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Ragna, what is your question?